place. Trying to make sure we get some good audio, video, audio visuals. All right, very good. This thing looks clean. This thing looks clean for some reason. All right, welcome everybody. Um, okay, so let's share. Let's share some stuffs. Let's share. Let's share that. Okay, very good. All right. Now, people have been complaining that my ugly face is in the videos, right? It's just to make sure that the video is recording properly, right? It's nothing to do with being a celebrity or anything like that, right? I'm not trying to be like the next the next Ranbir Kapoor or anything like that. Who knows how to? Mukesh, you know how to raise this thing, man? Do you know how to raise this thing? Is it one of those? Do you know how to raise this thing? Eh? There's an up and down button somewhere here, right? Yeah. Is that anything? All right, don't worry too much about it. It's fine. It's all right. It's fine. It's okay. Uh-oh. Just made it worse. All right, that's fine. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. All right, thanks though. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. All right, welcome everybody. So let's look at the attendance. Let's see who is here today. Now, at this point, your attention belongs to me, right? You're already in trouble because you were. I, I, I saw you. I saw her running away from class. Like she wanted to play hooky. She wanted to avoid class. And I saw her and said, "No, go to class." So you're already in trouble. No, you're not in trouble. No, you weren't avoiding class. No, nothing like that. You sure? All right, all right. Make sure though. Make sure. I'm just using that to mess with you, to make sure that you pay attention. All right. All right, people. Let's see who is here today. Now, if you're sitting there, your attention belongs to me. So I should need to tell you that you should be paying attention here and not talking, right? So Smith, I like you a lot. Hmm? I don't want to be, and you look like you'll be easily embarrassed. Hmm? I don't want to have to send you out to the class, Smith. Hmm. That would be terrible, right? All right. I think Siri can take it though. I think if I sent out Siri, she'd be all right. But you might be like, okay, all right, very good. So, all right, Canvas, and let's look at the attendance. Let's see who is here today. Very good. All right, people. So, good news. Good news. There are no more assignments after Deliverable 7. That's it. Right? No more assignments after Deliverable 7. Um, Now I started to look at 3B, and I got to tell you, they don't look good. Right? People, by now, 3A and 3B are the bread and butter of this course. Do you know what bread and butter is? Who knows what bread? Wait, you guys eat bread in India? You eat bread? Yeah, hard dough bread. The bread that you can crumple it and then use it and stone a dog? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hard dough bread. Dough bread. Yeah, hard dough bread. Yeah, man, you have to slice it yourself. Jamaican hard dough bread. Yeah, man. Yeah. Americans are just totally lazy, so they eat sliced bread, right? It's pre-sliced, right? I think I took out about 7 pieces out of the previous when I finished editing last class, it came down to like 32 minutes. Last week's class, I had to edit out so much stuff, right? But anyway, yeah, when we were in Jamaica, we used to buy hard dough bread and patty for lunch. This is what patty looks like. I don't think you guys have any equivalent. That's number two. I don't think you guys have I I don't think you guys have any equivalent. Jamaican patty. It's it's actually curry. Actually, that's the interesting thing. It's a curry outside, and then inside is like chicken or beef or whatever, or veg or whatever, right? I think Mexicans call it empanada. All right. Anyway, all right. So let's see who is here today. Praveen, Rahul Teja, Arvind, Sai Krishna, Sandhya, Pavan Sai, Siri, Siri Beluchar, Harita Reddy, Abhilash, Ajay Chandra. Who is that? Ajay Chandra? All right. Only calling your names. You say yes or no. Carla, if you're not here, just say no, right? If you're here, say yes. You Darius like that. He thinks it's funny. He's not gonna laugh out loud. Darius is a strong silent type, you know, right? Okay. Mukesh is here. Shiva Chanda. Meshwani. Yes. Um, Ajay Kumar. Likita Reddy. Susmitha. Here giving trouble. Kanaka. Pranitha. Kanaka is here. Pranitha. Sai Abhinav. Vasista is always here. Vasista, you ever miss a class, man? No? Vasista, you know, he has all that hero here, right? So the hero here wakes him up, right, Vasista? No? That's one thing about who saw is it Amaran? What's the name of the movie? Amaran. About ah, Major Mukund. Major Mukund. Yeah. Who saw this movie? Who saw the movie? Amaran. Yeah, who saw it? Nobody saw it. It's a great movie. We have to bring a lot of tissue. That thing will make you cry eyes out in the last part. Because you know these guys, you know, they're very tricky. You know what they do? The whole movie is very happy, right? They make the movie whole. That everything is very happy during the movie, and then at the start now they start to load up the um the sad stuff on you, right? Man, it gets overwhelming. Man, I think I cried my eyes out. I think I only cried like that 2 3 times in the movie. One was Titanic. Anybody seen Titanic? Yeah, Titanic made me cry, unfortunately. Another one was this movie called The Amistad. Is about how they used to bring slaves over from Africa and throw them off the ship. And some wicked things have been done in this world, you know. Here's what the people used to do, right? Here's what the people used to do. People used to just gather up like 200 slaves, right? That they're going to bring to America, right? And then, first of all, there's something called the Middle Passage. So this is how the slaves traveled over here, right? Right, Chinanyalum? Chinanyalum is, so my people are from Chinanyalum, is from Nigeria and Ghana, right? Her ancestors are my ancestors. So this is how um, they loaded us on the slave ships, right? Packed like sardines. And then halfway through the journey, like they have 200 people, right? And then halfway through the journey, say, oh my God, we ran out of food. Eh? Turn back? Not quite. Halfway through the journey, say, "Oh my God, oh, we don't have enough food." So guess what they did? Guess what they did? They chained the people together. Like they have food for 50, for 120 people for the rest of the journey. They chained the people together and throw them overboard. Swear to you. Yeah, that's what, man, I tell people are some weak things in this world. And that's why, let me tell you something. That's why you need economic power. All right, anyway, we're not going to into it. The point is, I'm going to edit this out, right? I'm going to ask, asking if this is a history class I'm teaching. Why am I teaching about slavery and all stuff? But people going to uncomfortable, right? But yeah, man, so wicked things been to us, right? Anyway, so man, so three movies are cried. Three movies are cried. Like, there's some other movies where I say, like Fighter, okay. But man, that movie made right. Um, Amaran. I don't know why this thing is running slow. Right. Anyway, so let's see who's here today. Okay. All right. So Amaran, see who. It's a good movie though. Good movie. But the guys are serious hero. Guys, serious hero. Suddenly. Oh, let me do this. Let me plug this in. A lot. Yeah, man. So yeah, man. Some wicked things have happened in this history, in the history of this world. Very wicked things. All right. Very good. So now we're back on track. All right. So let's share. We're sharing. Why did this thing close? Attendance. All right. So we're sharing attendance, right? Sharing. Let's share. Sharing attendance. All right. Very good. Okay. And for some reason, it has disappeared. All right. Let's start again. Praveen. Rahul. Arvind. Sai Krishna. Sandhya. Pavan Sai. Siri Beluchar. Haritha. Abhilash. Anjay Chandra. Carla is here. Mukesh is here. Shiva Chanda. Meshwani is here. Ajay Kumar. Nikita Reddy. Susmita. Kanaka. Pranita. Sai Abnav. Vasista. Abhilash Dandu. Manoj Kumar. Tejaswini. Akhil Dante. Gopi Bharat. Son. Arvinda Reddy. Gopi Reddy Ida. Gopi Reddy Ida, right? Um, Pranita. Pranita, you just hear your name, Pranita. You have to be quick though, you know. All right, Shiva Kumar. Veera Nikhil. Shiva Kumar. Vinay Kumar. Chaitanya. Sri Lakshmi. Akshay. Shirisha. Krishna. Devika. Lavanya. Shravan Kumar. Rama Koteswara. Manish Kavaturi. Bhargavi. Amarinder. Jitender. Nikit Reddy. Sahithi. Arif. Chinanyalam is here. Manikanta. Dinesh is here. Veera Bajudo. Vamshi Kishore. Shafi Muhammad. Nikshipta. Rashmita Sahar. Siri Chandana. Kirti Murugesh. Jansi Rani. Chandana Nageli. Sai Charita. Dathri. Varshita. Varshita. Saimani. Lakshmi Naga. Sravanipali. Ganesh Kumar. Sai Gopi. Ashwin Kumar. Balakrishna. Sharan Kumar. Shravan Kumar. Banu Prakash. Anirudh. Darius. Aditya. Ajay Manideep. Good to have you back. He did a great job. What were your was it international students thing the time? International Students Festival. Last year's international student. It was like a festival. Bam. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Kadar Subadan. Navina. Srileka. Talapeli. Kirtana. Pramitha. Lakshmi. Parmitha. Oh yeah, right. Srikruti, Sravani, Preeti, Srileka is here. Srisai, Srisai. Oh, I thought you were Srisai. Putting up your hand. Venkatasai, Sharanyal, Nagarjuna, Naveen, Upendar, Nitin, Enosh. Which one? Oh, Nitin. All right. Enosh, Sai Venkata, Sandeep Reddy. Sandeep Reddy, right? All right, very good. So I tell you all these things. There's a saying: people don't care what you know. In other words, you can be the most knowledgeable person in the world. People don't care about it. They don't care what you know unless they know that you care. So when I talk about these things, right, about watching your movies and stuff and stuff and stuff like that, to make you understand that I care, right? I care. Because I know personally, I know sometimes there's not enough of that going around, right? Like I'm not gonna tell a lie. Um, no, if I say it, I may sound like I'm trying to make myself look good. But the point is, I'm trying to make sure you guys know that I care, right? Because I was a foreign student and I know how the foreign student thing works. And point is that your success matters a lot to me, right? So that's why I talk about these movies. It's not that I'm trying to waste time or something, 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 right? That I'm trying to make you understand that I care about you guys. And if I care about you guys, then I'm like a representative of your parent here. So you must care about yourself. That's what your parents teach you, to care about yourself. That's why they make you brush your teeth, right? That's why they make you shower, eat good food, not just junk, right? Right? Etc. Etc. All right, very cool. Very cool. So I want you guys to know that I care. There's people here. There's people here who care about you, but they don't show it. Because then there's probably some other people and they're like, so they don't want to look like they care too much. They don't want to look like they're not cool. If they behave like they care too much, then they're not cool. But I don't care about being cool. You guys pay my salary, right? Apart from like maybe 5% of people who are not Indian, like Chinon Yalom, Joy Kalu, right? And some other non-Indian students, Darius, lady from New Zealand, Carla. 95% of my rent is paid by Indian students, right? So I have to show that I care. To me, you know, it's important. All right. Anyway, so good news. No more assignments after deliverable 7. Other good news is 6 and 7 are going to be graded based on effort. I'm not going to say that in terms of, I'm not going to say that on the assignment. But I'm saying if you show me something that looks good, you'll get the grade. Understand? So assignment 7, with assignment 7, here's what we're doing. So I posted assignment 7 stuff last week, and then basically you have the PowerPoint security and you have the assignment security and governance, right? So 4 people are going to work on system security. You're going to work on the roles and the password policy. Yeah. So basically, what you're going to do is you're going to do some research on what roles would fit your system, right? Like for example, um, convention, conference services. You're going to have a user role for people who book, right? You're going to have the person who administers rooms, right? Who says this is what is available, right? If a room is down, if a room needs maintenance, you need a room manager. You're going to have somebody who assigns rooms, right? Etc. Etc. So you need different roles for your system. Everybody with me? The dining people, you're going to need a chef role. You're going to need a cashier role. You're going to need a maybe a manager role, etc. etc. right? So identify the roles, and then you're going to give me the password policy. And you can just do some Googling. You Google password policy, right? Right? Um, And basically, you just find an example of a password policy. You don't, you don't I mean, so you just give me an example password policy, right? Right? Um, you give me an example of a password policy. And we know what password policies include, right? Things like the complexity of the password, how long it is, whether it includes, you know, um, you know, weirdest thing, like my Hulu password. I don't think it's very complex. I think Hulu is just like Hulu. Yeah, you have some strange websites out there that don't have an effective password policy. A matter of fact, my Hulu password, I've had it for like 12 years, right? Typically, a password policy is gonna tell you have to change it every now and then, right? Etc. etc. Um, Normally use included in the security policy. Oh, let me share this on Zoom. Included in the entire screen. Included in the security policy is, you know, wait, hold on. All right, very good. Cool. Yeah, yeah. So your roles to be assigned and your password policy, right? Okay, very good. Four people can work on that. Now, very important, like I said in the announcement, but I mean, I'm not publicizing it. What I'm trying to say is this is an easy assignment. But you can't use word like easy assignment officially, right? And of course, I'm going to edit this out of the video that I'm going to post, right? It's an easy assignment. I don't expect you to break your back over it, right? One of the things I believe in is making people work hard on the things that are important, not making you overwork on things that are fairly straightforward, right? So I want a good 3B, I want a good 4, right? Good 3B, good 4, good 5. But 6 and 7, as long as you put in some effort, is fine, right? All right, very cool. System use, 4 members, terms of use, acceptable use policy. So again, you do some Googling, acceptable use, or if you even put AUP, right? Find a good acceptable use policy. And you're going to submit it, right? Now, might have to customize it a little bit, to mention the specific system, um, and you might have to customize it a little bit to mention the specific system, right? You could also just generate it with ChatGPT. That's fine. You could say ChatGPT generate a AUP let me see, you guys are you- you're dining. You're in the dining section, but you're grading. Acceptable use policy for a learning management system, right? You could even do stuff like that. You can use ChatGPT if you want, right? Um, and then you're gonna give me a privacy policy. So the privacy policy, what's involved in the privacy policy? Tell me some things in the privacy policy. Let's see if we're learning anything in this class. Data sharing, right? So before we share data, we have to do what with it? What do we have to do before we share it? We have to have it, right? So data, what? Starts with C. Data collection. Yeah. What data do we collect? First thing people need to know. Who do we share it with? What else? How much data? So what kind of data we collect? What kind of data do we share, right? So what are we collecting? What are we sharing? What else? How long the data is held? That's also very important, right? What else? All right, so we said sharing, who we shared with. Now, what's the most important thing you want to know with data in terms of when a system collects it? You want to know how it is secured is important. We can assume it's secured, but it starts with you. Used. Who said, yeah, exactly. You want to know how it's used, right? You want to know primarily. And the thing with data is that it's all about cost benefit, right? There's a cost because you're collecting people's data and that makes it vulnerable, period. There is no absolute protection for data. There's insiders, threat from insiders, right? There's hackers, there's improper use, there's yeah, when people don't use the data, when insiders themselves don't use the data properly, use like we talked about that cop who looked up the woman's address, right? So so the point is that um so yeah, we need to know how it's used, what is considered acceptable use. And then if we sign up to say, okay, we agree that we're going to allow this data to be collected by signing up, right? Then we're saying, okay, we only expect it to be used in this way, right? When you sign up to Canvas, you're not agreeing that booksellers should have your data so they can call you up and harass you to buy books, correct? Right. You're not expecting to have PhD programs calling to harass you to enter their PhD program, right? Because you're master's students. So when you graduate, it's some of you will do PhDs, hopefully, and do the same suffering that I did. That's why professors encourage master's students to do PhDs. They want to see other people suffer, right? They say, I suffered in life. I want to see you suffer, right? That's a real secret why we. No, I'm just kidding. No, we encourage the next generation, obviously, right? That you have to have the next generation of researchers. But in reality, let me see who is going to do a master's? Who wants to do a master's? Who is interested? Who is thinking about doing a sorry, not master's, PhD? Who is interested? All right, so Sharania, who else? One person? Nobody. So wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second. People, understand something, This is something. This is of vital interest to your national interest. This is important to the Indian national interest. You need to have Indian researchers and New Zealand researchers and Nigerian researchers. Because understand something, research is like any other thing. It's shaped by the people who do it. And if you're not represented, then your national interest won't be represented, right? Research, let me tell you something. Research is something that's very skewed. We think, okay, professors do research and it's all great. That's all perfect. It's all nice. The truth is, everything human beings do is skewed, including research, right? And the truth is that at the end of the day, researchers can also make their research say anything they really want it to say. You know what I'm trying to say? So, yeah, man, it's important that somebody do PhDs. Very important, right? All right, anyway. And data and privacy policy should also mention two other things is how you can view the data and how you can have it changed if there's a problem with it, right? That's your privacy policy. Terms of use is so what people are allowed to use the system for, right? Things like the secure use of the system, right? So for example, um, when I'm entering grades, or when I'm dealing with student data, and I'm at Panera Bread, drinking my decaf coffee, right? I'm not supposed to be like getting up from my seat and walking away and leaving student data available for anybody to pass by and see. Make sense? So So yeah, your confidentiality, you have to agree that I'm going to keep your data confidential. As a matter of fact, whenever if you work as a GA, you also have to sign some purpose stuff, right? If it's work as like a GTA, you have to sign some purpose stuff to say you're going to respect your fellow students' data and you're going to use it, blah blah blah, properly, right? Um, so acceptable use policy, how you're going to use the system, what's responsible use, what's acceptable use, what not to do with the system, what not to do with the data, etc., right? And then two people work on a service level agreement. Again, if you go to OpenAI, that's perfectly fine. You can use ChatGPT for this assignment. Give me a SLA for an SLA for let me see who else we have in the class. Which one? Which system are you guys working on? Loan a laptop. And we call that what? MDM system, right? Mobile device management system, right? For a university, right? Right? You give me that service level agreement, right? It's like, remember we talked about like the 99% uptime, scheduled maintenance, right? Um, Performance, levels of performance that's required, right? How long, how quickly screen should load, this type of stuff. Incident response, um, and like we talked about last week, severity levels and how quickly people should respond to the different severity levels, right? Low 4 hours, minor issues like when it's a little bit slow should respond within the service provider should respond within 4 hours. If it's critical, meaning there's an outage, right? Then we expect response within 15 minutes, right? Um, Interestingly, if you say, uh, if you say, am I still sharing this? Am I still sharing this in the Zoom? Let me see the Zoom. How do I know if I'm sharing this window in the Zoom? It's record. I think it is. Okay, stop sharing. Just make sure it's sharing. Entire screen. Yeah, sure. For example, now, interestingly, let's compare a SLA for a, let's give it the same. Give me an SLA for a, what's the most critical system that is being studied? Not the cafeteria system. Definitely not the most critical system. Um, who is studying a very critical system, meaning a system that shouldn't go down ever, almost never? Who? Preeti, what system are you studying? ITS. Oh, which aspect of ITS? Laptop. Loaner. Loan laptop. Yeah, that's even less critical, I think, because I think a 2 day response on that is fine, right? Um, what all semester I've been trying to get these guys to tell me which system they're studying. Up in the top left corner. Which system you guys study? Bottom Prakash, which system are you studying? Huh? Grading. Oh, so LMS. Uh, hmm, Wi-Fi management. All right. Slave for Wi-Fi. Yeah, Wi-Fi troubleshooting or like a maybe help desk. All right, Wi-Fi troubleshooting system. Let's see if it gives us slightly different terms. Um, oh, actually, it says something interesting here. Automated issue detection. Remember, we're talking about this as an advanced system feature where you, yeah, all right. So apparently it actually exists already. Yeah. So user self-service troubleshooting, tools and instructions. But the difference is that we said we're going to use a GPT interface, right? Um, service availability, kind of the same though. All right. But if you said hospital, it should look very different for a hospital. It should look very, very different. Like the up times and the incident response times should be very, very different. Um, all right, okay, interesting. See, this time, all right, notice for MDM, for the MDM, it said 99.5% uptime, right? For the hospital, it has, all right, come on, finish. Yeah, 99.95. See that? Percent uptime. See that? See the difference? Yeah, it has 99. So in other words, this is allowed to be done 1 out of 200, uh, 1 over 200, um, as a fraction, as 1 over 200. This is 1 over 2,000, right? So in other words, for every 1,000 minutes that it's up, it's allowed to be down for half minute, half minute. Yeah. All right. What about the incident response? Notice again also the incident response is a lot more urgent, right? It's not really that much. It's surprisingly not that much more urgent. Yeah, interesting. 15 minutes, 10 minutes. All right, but maybe let's try this. For a hotel, sorry, not hotel, hospital, hospital operating room system, right? Then we should see something even more interesting. Um, all right, you should see something a lot more. 99.99%, right? 99.99% compared to 99.95%, right? So meaning out of 10,000 minutes, it's allowed to be down for 1 minute. So every 10,000 minutes, like 1,000 minutes is like 60,000, 1,000 seconds, 1,000 minutes, 1,000 seconds is 16 minutes, all right? But all right, so you get the idea. All right, any questions about deliverable 7? Any questions about deliverable 7? So in other words, give me something looking decent and you get the marks. Now also I might increase these marks a little bit more because there was a deliverable 8, but I didn't bother to kind of, I just kind of took it out. Because I wanted you guys to focus on resubmitting the work. So like I'm saying, 3B, I'm not happy with 3B. I'll give you some feedback, some more official feedback next 2 days. Not happy with it. So 3B, 4, and 5. I want some good work on these, right? These are the core of the thing, right? But 6 and 7, let's see what 6 was again. So in other words, I'm focusing on the things that are really important. 6 was implementation plan, right? Training plan, data conversion plan. Yeah, use ChatGPT and generate it. That's fine, right? It's perfectly fine. Yeah, and that's your 5 points. Perfectly. I don't have no problem with it. Yeah. But 3B, 4, and 5, uh, I want good work. Any questions about 3B, 4, and 5? Right? So, for example, people still not giving me BPMs that look like proper BPMs. I want proper looking BPMs. I want to implement the, remember four, which one was it? Four? You have three submissions. You already gave me one submission. I'm working on the feedback for the second submission, and then you're going to submit it again. And I'm fairly certain you're going to submit most of it again, right? All right. Any questions? All right. So, so yeah, Chat GPT is fine for deliverable 6, deliverable 7. And then what we're going to do for the end of the semester is to get 3B, 4, and 5 right. I want them done right. Right? Now, people, exam. When is the exam? The exam is 10th of when? January? December. Oh, so next month. All right. This the exam is going to be in class, right? Going to be in class on December 10th. No? So Smith, are you still giving trouble? Lord have mercy. So Smith, what you eat today, so Smith? In Jamaica, I always say, when somebody's on fire, like we say, anything you eat this morning, eat it every Tuesday, because you're just on fire, right? Whatever you eat this morning, don't eat it ever again, right? Because you just, no, she's right though. That was actually a test to see if you read the announcements. So the exam is going to be December 10, right? It's going to be 75 minutes, right? It's going to be online. You're going to use your camera and Responders lockdown browser, right? Hopefully it's glitch free. And you're going to have 75 minutes. Now, people, hear me. So, if you are slacking all semester, if you are slacking all semester on the project, you're going to get burnt on the exam, right? Because you're not going to know what to do. Let's look at this announcement. Let's look at this announcement and let's see what this announcement says. This announcement says final exam is worth 25%. Final exam on December 10th, right? And then 75 minutes, responders browser, 25%. All questions will be about the project. That means you need to understand all parts of the project, not just the part that your team leader gave you, right? You need to understand everything in the project. Everybody with me? I'm not going to ask you about your part of the project, right? I'm going to ask you about the project. Yeah? So, for example, I'm going to ask you, so deliverable 7. So let's say, for example, we're looking at deliverable. Oh, did we have anything else we needed to say about this? Um, so you need to understand the project very well. Make sure you go through all the PowerPoints, all class videos, deliverable instructions, and completed group submissions, right? To be able to answer the exam questions. Otherwise, you're gonna get burnt on this exam. It's gonna be very practical, very practical, but you must know all about the project, right? It's not gonna be theoretical. It's gonna well, the good news is it's not gonna be theoretical. The bad news, it's not gonna be theoretical, right? That's the good news and the bad news. So meaning you have to be able to. So for example, if I ask you, if I give you a system scoring matrix, right? Let's say I give you a system scoring matrix. Let's give you a system scoring matrix. And I say to you now, deliverable 6. Deliverable 6 implement. No, deliverable 5. System selection framework, right? So I give you this system selection framework, right? And I say to you now, okay, I said to you, okay, here's a system selection framework. And then I said to you now, I said to you now, okay, I said to you now, which one of these are bad questions? Is it app management? Is it simplified device onboarding? Is it all matches, all AI matches usage with specs? Or is it auto patch management? Right? See, I'm not going to ask you what makes a bad question. I'm going to ask you which one of these is a bad question. See that? Right. So you have to know to be able to identify the bad questions. And the bad question would have been simplified device onboarding, right? Like I say here, because it's too complex. It's not a yes no question, right? Then I'm going to say to you, okay, here's Hexnode, Kanji, Mass 360. Which one of them will you select for a company that has no budget, right? Which one would you select for a company that has a big budget and the best, and it's a production oriented system and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Right? I'm going to ask you, okay, which systems will you eliminate because which system will be eliminated? And I'm not going to say, well, because meet it doesn't meet all the mandatory requirements, right? I'm going to say which of these systems will be eliminated from the discussion, right? And you're supposed to know, okay, it's manage engine because okay, looking at this, it when we look at all the mandatory stuff, right? It's missing a lot of the mandatory stuff, right? Etc. 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 Right? Make sense? Right. Um. All right. Etc. Right. So very very practical. Very very practical. It's gonna be very very practical. So you have to know the theory, but you have to actually know, you know. Um. So let's look at something like let's look at something like 3B. Let's look at something like a 3B. Um, 3B examples, right? I said to you now, okay, I say to you now, okay, part two. That's part two. Let's look at part. Let's look at the optional part. All right, all right. So I say, okay, look at this deliverable 3B. Look at this, right? I said to you now, okay, I say, okay, based on this description, which one of these should have a red border? Is it one? Is it A? Is it six? Or is it nine? Which should have a red border, right? That means you have to know, okay, we're eliminating this activity from the re-engineer business process diagram, and it should have a red border. Which should have a green border. And you have to know, okay, we added this activity, right? So you have a narrative, we added this activity, and now as a result, this should have a green border, right? All right, now, um, um, and so on and so forth, right? So very, very practical, very, very practical, right? I'm going to say to you, okay, which one of these is the wrong shape? So instead of known outage with a diamond, is a known outage with a rounded rectangle. And I say, okay, 3, G1, 6, and 14, which one of them has the wrong shape? I say, okay, well, it's known outage because it should have a diamond, but it's actually, blah, 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 blah. Now, there are some other levels of questions. Now, let me ask you guys something. I want to show you a video because some of the questions will be a little bit interesting. I'm wondering if you ever seen these two-part questions. Have you ever seen these two-part questions? Um, Maybe I shouldn't show you guys what I'm watching, but anyway, don't worry too much about it. I have a channel. Who knew that I had a channel? None of you knew that I had a channel, right? None of you knew that I had a channel. All right. So none of you, none of you knew that I had a channel. That's all right. Oh, no. Who's ever seen? Who's ever seen questions like these? These two-part questions. Can you guys see it from the back? Eh? You've seen questions like these? All right. All right. All right. So let's do this. Let's let's do a screen capture. Wait, hold on, wait, hold on. Let's see something. Um, this is still.